news tonight. Nigeria, South Africa agreed to strengthen ties and engender better economic bilateral relations. Federal government takes measures to check delays in execution of road projects. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu-Ode News at 7. My name is Anthony Gandonu. Here are the details of the news. Nigeria and South Africa have agreed to strengthen ties and engender better economic and bilateral relations between the two African giants. This was during a meeting between President Bola Tinubu and his South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, in Johannesburg. State House correspondent Musbah Udan-Wahab reports that the host president met President Bola Tinubu to personally appreciate his presence at the inauguration of the country's 7th administration. Let's join Musbah for more.
Just a day after his swearing in for his second term in office, the newly inaugurated South African President Cyril Ramaphosa left his seat of power in Pretoria to visit President Bola Tinubu in Johannesburg. This was an ironic situation of the host president visiting his guest in his own country, and that underscores how important the visit of President Bola Tinubu is to the host president attending his inauguration for a second term in office. Now, after the exchange of pleasantries between the two leaders of the two giant African countries, they went into a closed door for close to an hour to talk on new areas of relations between the two countries. Their discussions focused on economic, bilateral and democratic collaborations between the two African giants, and of course how to provide the necessary leadership for the rest of the continent. Let's take a listen to the two leaders.
Forming a government of national unity to stabilize the polity, and that is coming at a very challenging time for the rest of us in Africa to really come of collaborative economics that will help our downtrodden and vulnerable people.
But for me, what matters most is to be able to have very good economic links with Nigeria. The two countries, Africa and Nigeria, are very important in our continent. And when the two countries work together, which we are, and we do things together, it benefits Africa. It is the two countries that are among the pillars of our continent. And I'm particularly pleased that we support each other internationally. Nigeria and South Africa are essentially joined at the hip, and we want to engender good economic and trade relations between our two countries to address the challenges that our two countries face. Thank you.
Now, going forward, it is expected that the two countries will work out the new areas of collaboration between the two countries and how to provide leadership for the rest of the continent. From Johannesburg, Musbah Udan-Wahab, NTA News.
Federal government is taking bold steps to check delays in execution of road projects, cut costs while keeping active inherited projects and pursuing new ones. Minister of Works Dave Umahi disclosed this at a meeting with contractors in Abuja. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the minister also seized the opportunity to roll out the successes recorded in the last 1 year of the Renewed Hope agenda. his report.
About 2,600 road projects with execution value hovering above 30 trillion naira was what the renewed hope movement inherited. Making road transport easier, President Bola Tinubu gave the Minister of Works a marching order to quickly carry it out. Emergency rehabilitation of about 330 highways, roads and bridges, which is 80% completed so far. But some ugly trends.
The people of Lokoja to Benin are suffering. And so with so many other locations, trucks are falling down and the contractors are playing in okay.
These led to this meeting. A clear change of policy hits the table. Non-performing contracts are to be terminated. Now on, all contracts are to be priced according to the realities of the economy without preferential treatment to any contractor.
It's a time to wear a different kind of cap and help this country.
Before the goodbyes, good news of the progress made in the execution of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway.
The work is going and it's moving smoothly. We've paid a total compensation of close to 10 billion. We are not owing.
And the steps out the minister takes, promising to call again when it's time for Mr. President to commence the inauguration of series of gigantic projects in the coming months. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
To Lagos State now. The need to promote access to quality education for vulnerable male children so as to avert the growing neglect of the child that adversely affect their well-being and threaten their future has been stressed. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, was speaking at the closing ceremony of the residential workshop for young boys held in Lagos. Eze Onwuamaka reports.
This experience has given many of us the opportunity to experience what not many young boys have the opportunity to.
Work on your goals and make it in life.
Most people, they believe that girls are the things, but boys too, we also have emotions. So I'm thanking the First Lady of Lagos State for this greater opportunity.
The main objective of the Lagos Boy Child Initiative, according to the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, is to sensitize male children on the rights and welfare of the boy child. She expressed hope that the boys who have been taken through sessions at the workshop will impact greatly in the society.
The future is bright for our boys out there. The future is great, and they are our greater tomorrow. They are our dues of esteem value. So we need to invest in these boys so that we can have commissioners, ministers, governors, presidents that are sound.
In his remark, a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly representing Etiosa Constituency 2, Bolahon Gisharu, lauded the Lagos Boy Child Initiative of Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. He urged parents, guardians to mentor their children on the right path in order to secure a bright future.
Creating that awareness, awakening them and inspiring them is what we should all do as adults within our community.
The theme of the year 2024 Lagos Boy Child Initiative of the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, is awakening the boy child towards becoming a change agent. In Lagos, Eze Onwuamaka, NTA News.
More than 500 new members of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations from the media industry have been inducted into the professional body. Elizabeth Omorui reports that the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who was represented at the ceremony, enjoined all inductees to abide by the ethics of the public relations profession as catalysts for positive change and development.
Each code of ethics.
A declaration of their commitment to shaping a healthy, transparent, and transformed society.
I look forward to putting in my maximum ability toward the profession.
We've been taught how to manage crisis.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, in his message to the inductees, urged them to bring back trust to public institutions.
You have a dual role of not just representing your organizations, but also going forcefully
to speak positively, write forcefully about your own country.
The essence of enforcement and compliance is not for prosecution, neither is it for persecution. It is to do things well.
As you join the profession, you would acquit yourselves honorably, align with the ethics of the profession.
Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, in his paper on ethics, noted that enforcing the NIPR Act is sacrosanct.
Encourage the free circulation of public information and preserve the integrity of channels of communication. We will expect inductees to be alert, to be part of our enforcement drive.
The second phase of the special Diamond Anniversary induction will hold on the 11th of July 2024. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now to some politics. Towards achieving a hitch-free electioneering process in Ondo State, stakeholders have called on governorship candidates and their political parties to focus on issue-based discussions as election campaign kicks off in the state. Ifeoluwa Omosule reports that 17 political parties are participating in the November 16 governorship election.
A free, fair, transparent, credible and peaceful election has always been the focus of every electoral process in Nigeria. Campaigns are a critical part of the electioneering process, serve as platforms for candidates to present their manifestos to the electorate. However, campaigns often result into opportunities for candidates to discredit their opponents, sometimes inciting violence. As the Ondo State governorship election approaches, political analysts in the state are appealing to candidates and their parties to focus on issue-based campaigns rather than engaging in criticism, as this approach is seen as essential to gaining the confidence of the electorate.
What are you offering the people of Ondo State? Let's speak to projects that become pipe dreams.
Political leaders, their followers are mostly moved by their utterances. They are supposed to mobilize their teaming supporters to play by the books. You don't need to destroy people's billboard.
Parties and their candidates are expected to conduct the campaign with decorum and civility. They should avoid any form of violence.
The campaign, which commenced on June 19, 2024, is set to run till November 14, 2024. In Akure, Ifeoluwa Omosule, NTA News.
Still on politics, the election of Dr. Christopher Nwaneri, who is visually impaired, into the United Nations Committee on Rights of Persons with Disabilities, hope is rising towards adequate inclusion and participation of persons with special needs globally. Kenneth Nani reports that disability community in Nigeria rolled out the drum to receive one of their own who made the nation proud at the international front.
The Committee on Rights of Persons with Disabilities is one of the 10 United Nations Human Rights Treaty bodies saddled with the responsibility of compliance with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities amongst member states. Now, a distinguished Nigerian, Dr. Christopher Nwaneri, having been nominated in 2022, was recently elected into the committee to serve for the period of 4 years. The feat achieved by a man who is visually impaired elicited this ambience of victory from the disability community of Nigeria as they roll out the drums to welcome and celebrate one of their own at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Having attracted lots of investments into the country before now, Dr. Nwaneri, an expert in disability matters, is optimistic that his role in the international body will ensure that physically challenged persons will be well mainstreamed in the scheme of things, both locally and globally.
My role is going to make sure that everybody who is challenging one or the other, who have human rights, their challenges, their problems will be handled rightly. And my role is going to be that humanity must have respect for persons with disabilities and the vulnerable in the society.
For more achievements in this light, his colleagues are craving for more inclusivity and support to persons with disabilities, especially at the global front.
Our expectation has been fulfilled for him to be there, and we have confidence in him that he's going to make our days better than it used to be before.
I am quite certain that Nigerians will not be lacking, and I want to believe that beyond just being a member, he is well qualified, and we're looking forward to having him as the president of that very committee.
The election of Dr. Nwanoro into the United Nations Human Rights Body, the group says, has justified the saying that there is ability in disability. Kenneth Nanim, NTN News.
The news will continue after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Sis, can I please borrow your wig? No, but I can share my data with you.
Hey, come on, give me some ice cream now.
No, Mom, but I can share some of my data with you.
Can you pass it to her, please?
No, but I can share my data with you.
Oh yeah, can I use your phone charger?
No, Dad, but I can share my data with you.
Is it because Glo gives you data bonus? That is why you have been shouting. I can share my data with you.
With Glo Data Sharing, you can share your data effortlessly with friends and loved ones today. Dial *312#.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data.
Glo Unlimited.
You are welcome back. Now to some religious matters. In the last 7 days, specialist medical teams deployed in Makkah and Medina for the Hajj session had successfully performed free 532 surgeries on pilgrims, with 498 cardiac cases and open heart operations. Tope Alabi has more.
The Saudi Arabia Ministry of Health says some 4,082 pilgrims were admitted by its hospitals and medical centers in the holy sites, and they received necessary health care free of charge. The Saudi press agency SPA, in a release, highlighted that the ministry carried out 93 endoscopes, 532 surgeries, as well as 498 cardiac cuts and open heart surgeries, while 1,491 pilgrims undergone dialysis operations in addition to the admission of pilgrims. The patients were more than 142,000 pilgrims who have benefited from the various health services provided by healthcare centers in Mecca and Mina since June 15, when the annual pilgrimage officially commenced. One of the Nigerian pilgrims who commended the health services put in place by the Saudi authority wants the kingdom to work on its response time during Hajj.
To Saudi government, they have tried, they have improved in so many ways, but they still need to do more. The response on health related issues, they have all the facilities on ground, but they need to advance their technology on how to dictate where issues that has to do with emergency for them to respond to it as at when due.
At least 550 pilgrims were reported to have died during this year's Hajj, underscoring the nature of the pilgrimage, which again unfolded in scorching temperatures this year, as temperatures exceed 50 degrees Celsius. More than 1.83 million Muslims performed this year's Hajj, including more than 1.6 million pilgrims from 22 countries across the world. Amir Umar, however, made the trip all the way from Nigeria. From Mecca in Saudi Arabia, Tope Alabi, NTA News.
Now to some death matters. The Owu Traditional Council has announced the passing of the traditional ruler of Akinyele Town, Owu Abeokuta in Ogun State, Oba Dr. Olufemi Adewumi Ogunleye, the Towulade of Akinyele Kingdom. The Owu Traditional Council, in a statement by the Oganla Owu, Chief Johnson Olufatoki, described late Oba Ogunleye as a peace-loving, a peace-loving, progressive, and bridge builder. Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the Balogun of Owu, has described the passage of Oba Ogunleye as shocking and a great loss to the entire Owu kingdom, Ogun State, and the country in general. Chief Obasanjo said the news of the demise of Oba Ogunleye is shocking, having informed him about his traveling some weeks back in high spirits. Also, a former governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, commensurate with the families of the late monarch and the entire Owu kingdom on the loss of the traditional ruler who joined his ancestors at the age of 79, describing him as a respected monarch with unwavering commitment and passion towards the development of Akinyele, Owu Kingdom, Egbaland, and Ogun State, while condoning with the widow Olori Olanike Ogunleye, the children and grandchildren. The former president and former governor praised Almighty God to grant Oba Olufemi Ogunleye eternal rest and give the entire Ogunleye family and the people of Akinyele the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. That is how far we can go today on the News Tonight. Join us next week for another version. From me, good night.